Have you heard the news? Tesla is doomed again. From catastrophic price cuts to Cybertruck accelerator pedals plopping right off. Will Tesla survive another day? Can I possibly explain away the FUD and fear-mongering and shine some light onto the darkness of Tesla articles like this one from The Guardian? Yes I can. Take my hand and I shall guide you through the nonsense. Tesla cuts prices around the world as sales decline in a chaotic week. Global vehicle deliveries fall for the first time in 4 years amid growing competition, while Cybertruck faces recall. Oh no, that does sound bad. Tesla slashed prices of 3 of its 5 models in the US late on Friday, then went on to cut prices around the globe. Elon Musk, you crazed global slasher you! Including in China and Germany, as the company faces falling sales, a Cybertruck recall, and an intensifying war for electric vehicles. God, it sounds dramatic, doesn't it? On Friday, the company, led by billionaire Elon Musk, I'm surprised that didn't say big bad billionaire Elon Musk, cut the prices of the Model Y, a small SUV that is Tesla's most popular model and the top-selling electric vehicle in the US. Actually, it's the best-selling car in the world, not just best-selling EV in the US, but, don't want to be picky. And also cut prices of the Models X and S, its older and more expensive models. Prices for the Model 3 sedan and the Cybertruck stayed the same. The cuts reduced the starting price for a Model Y to $42,990 and to $72,990 for a Model S and $77,990 for a Model X. Let's be honest here, the S and the X, while showcasing Tesla's premium technology and cutting-edge abilities, they barely make a dent in overall sales or profitability when compared to the Model Y and Model 3 sales. Here's a wonderful chart from Clean Technica that shows Model S deliveries, that light blue bar, and on top of that the Model X. Can you spot the introduction of the Model 3? Here it is at the end of 2018, which soon overtakes all other Tesla vehicle production and continues to sell over 400,000 Model 3s a year. The Model Y gets introduced at the end of 2020, and that too soon overtakes the Model 3 in production and deliveries, and between the Model 3 and the Model Y makes their S and X objectively look a little pointless, does it not? As Tesla have already done here in the UK, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they cancelled the Model S and X altogether in the not so distant future, especially as Tesla enters its next massive growth phase of autonomous robotaxis and Tesla bots. Then, on Saturday, Tesla slashed the US price of its full self-driving driver assistance software from $12,000 to $8,000. Could it be that Tesla wants as much data collected as possible from its fleet of millions of cars in order to build up its already colossal amounts of video training data? As Elon Musk mentioned recently, Tesla is no longer compute restrained, meaning they have enough computing power necessary to rapidly move forward with its vision-only based autonomous driving software. The more video training data Tesla collects from its FSD users, the greater the advancements of the system. The cuts continued on Sunday when Tesla cut the starting price of the revamped Model 3 in China by $1,930, so it's now $32,000, its official website showed. In Germany, the car maker trimmed the price of its Model 3 rear-wheel drive to €40,990. There were also price cuts in many other countries in Europe, the Middle East and Africa, a Tesla spokesperson said. I didn't know they sold them in Africa, I'll be honest. Still waiting for a price cut here in the UK, although it's not like there's many of them in Tesla's inventory right now. Just one new style Model 3 is available to pick up today. The rest are in transit, arriving soon. Just consider how many cars there are for sale sitting at dealerships all over the UK. Now think of this one lowly Model 3. Hello? Hello? Does anybody want me? These price cuts should not surprise anyone who's paying attention to Tesla. They will continue to get cheaper and cheaper over time. It's so annoying hearing the end of the world is nigh every time Tesla cuts its prices here and there. Just consider the dying dealership model of selling cars. They buy the cars from the manufacturers and mark up the price to suit the environment / how many gullible people waltz in and buy a car for the full sticker price. Tesla, on the other hand, shows the prices of their cars online and regularly adapt those prices based on supply and demand. And since the very beginning of Tesla, 21 years ago now, they've been figuring out how to make their cars for less and less cost, driving down Model 3 manufacturing cost over 30% since it was first revealed. I believe it's more like 40% right now. It has been no secret that Tesla wants to make the most affordable cars possible, from the original Roadster, very expensive, Model S and Model X, Still a bit much. Then came the Model 3, a highly profitable vehicle despite its way more affordable price tag. And now the Model Y, an uncompromised family SUV that starts at $35,490 after the full $7,500 US EV tax credit. That's before factoring in lower running costs and barely any maintenance. That's flipping incredible value and still maintains strong profit margins. The swathe of price cuts comes after the company reported this month that its global vehicle deliveries in the first quarter had fallen for the first time in nearly 4 years. True, but it's a rather tough time for all car manufacturers at the moment, you might have noticed. There is no other EV maker in Europe selling cars for a profit. That should spell a bit disastrous for most car companies, shouldn't it? The fact that Tesla still has healthy profit margins that it can eat into if it needs to by lowering the purchase prices is the remarkable fact here. As Tesla continues to find ways to lower manufacturing costs, as battery costs continue to decline, as software as a service begins ramping up, like that $99 per month for full self-driving capabilities, for example, we ain't seen nothing yet with regards to Tesla's future software as a service. A couple more things. Q1, the first 3 months of the year, is always a slower, tougher time for the car industry. Yet every year the daggers come out for Tesla and everyone declares it's the end of the world. I'll be honest, it's a bit tedious reading through articles like this. When you can see through this BS and FUD, it's no wonder so many people are brainwashed into believing negative steaming piles of poop. Does this article mention those eco-terrorists that set fire to Giga Berlin's power supply, shutting down that factory for a week and massively disrupting the supply chain and parts for Tesla? How many tens of thousands of Teslas were not built in Q1 due to this? Yet silence, no one mentions it. Tesla shares fell below $150 this week, wiping away all gains that the company made in the past year. The vehicle manufacturer said on Monday that it was cutting 10% of its staff globally, about 14,000 jobs. Whilst this is obviously devastating for any employee, it's nothing new for Tesla to do this, and indeed other companies. Tesla announced a 7% cut in staff in 2019, and it trimmed about 10% of its salaried staff in 2022. It's the most effective way to keep the very best employees and ensure the best new talent is hired too. Yes, it's brutal, but necessary if a company is hell-bent on building the impossible. Musk has also faced criticism from investors who say he is stretched too thin after his purchase of the social media platform Twitter, which he renamed X in 2022. Yeah, he's never had much on his plate, has he? Just Tesla, SpaceX, boring company, Neuralink, about 100 children, whatever. Meanwhile, Tesla has asked its shareholders to vote in favour of Musk's $56 billion pay package, which was rejected this year by a judge who called it an unfathomable sum. You know what's really unfathomable? That one single judge can overturn Tesla shareholders and board members' votes that agree to the ludicrously ambitious performance-based goals which Elon Musk smashed. Yet he will now get zero payment for the past 5 years of his relentless work at Tesla. How would you like to work tirelessly for 5 years without payment? I guess I'll find out after a few more years of being a YouTuber. Lawyers who had Elon Musk's pay dismissed as excessive seek $6 billion in Tesla shares. That's right, the shareholder who owns just 7 Tesla shares who took Tesla to court complaining of losing share value despite the 1,000% increase in 2018 and brought about this insanity has also brought about this despicable, blatant corruption that dollops an almighty poo in the faces of those Tesla shareholders that voted in favour of Elon's compensation package back in 2018. I hope every company leaves the state of Delaware in favour of somewhere less corrupt. The price cuts ended a chaotic week for Tesla that included a recall for all Cybertrucks on Friday. Oh, would you look at that, an actual recall, not an over-the-air update fix. That's a rarity for Tesla. Again, not really the end of the world when considering Tesla have built 3,878 Cybertrucks so far. Compare that to Ford. Ford has led for 3 years as the most recalled car brand in the United States, with 68 recalls in 2022. Not over-the-air software updates, proper pop-out-to-the-garage-for-a-day recalls. There were 5,692,135 Ford vehicles affected by car recalls in 2023. Recalls happen, so it's no surprise that the Cybertruck, a ground-up unique technological marvel, has a little issue to be addressed. So what is this catastrophic recall? Federal regulators contacted the company after becoming aware of malfunctions with the vehicle's accelerator pedal. Cybertruck owners reported that their vehicles were at risk of getting stuck driving at full speed due to the pedal being loose. Video showed the pedal falling off and the piece beneath wedging itself into the car's interior, which would force the vehicle into maximum acceleration. One driver was able to save himself from a crash by holding down the brake pedal. To add just a little context, and by doing just a tiny amount of research, it's just the accelerator plate cover, this chromy bit, that can come off. Cybertruck accelerator pedals are not falling off. Thanks to the Cybertruck Owners Club for this picture. This is another black eye for Tesla, which has added to the chaos going on for Musk, said Dan Ives, senior equity analyst at Wedbush Securities. Cybertruck is the pedestal moment, and a recall out of the gates is a bad look. Do you remember that time GM told owners not to park their Chevy Bolts near their homes due to severe fire risk, and recalled them all to replace their battery packs because they were actually combusting? But yes, Dan, a very bad look for Tesla, having caught the issue before any accidents or incidents. If anyone's still in any doubt, safety is Tesla's highest priority, as evidenced by the world-class safety record of all Tesla models. Industry analysts have been waiting for Tesla to introduce a small electric vehicle that would cost about $25,000, the Model 2. Media reports this month that Musk planned to scrap the project created more uncertainty over the company's direction, although Musk called them untrue. Let's find out together on this one, shall we? It's in the possible set of outcomes that the Model 2 does get deleted, if indeed autonomy is as good as solved. If you want to dive into this a bit more, I'll line up this video next. On Saturday, Musk confirmed he had postponed a planned weekend trip to India to meet with the country's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, citing very heavy Tesla obligations. He said on X he looked forward to rescheduling their visit for later this year. The company reported this month that its worldwide sales had fallen sharply from January through March, and I'm guessing the editor adds here, as competition increased worldwide, electric vehicle sales growth slowed, and earlier price cuts failed to lure more buyers. It was Tesla's first year-over-year quarterly sales decline in nearly 4 years, and it matters not when you're looking at the big picture. As you can see from this graph, thanks to James Stevenson on X, Tesla is doomed to fail. I only wish I was smart enough to figure out this delivery graph. Is up good or bad when you zoom out a bit and look over the years? If anyone can help me out, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks to my patrons for your amazing support. You can join them too for extra perks and it really helps my channel, so thanks very much. Link in the description below. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.